Assalamualaikum and hello Mr. Ahmed and fellow friends. We are Group 10 and today we will be presenting about Petronas versus Shell. My group consists of me, myself, Afika Tan, Isarin Fazwa, Nuri Shafika, Nur Sabrina, and Zaid Al-Farouk. So, next. So first of all, we will talk about the background of Petronas itself. So throughout our history, Petronas has been driven by the pursuit of better future for our nation and our communities, as well as helping individuals achieve their goals. Their tagline itself, passionate about progress, encompasses everything about what they stand for and drives their behavior. So in addition, it describes the progress on an everyday basis as well as transformational progress in a greater sense. So throughout the smooth lines of the sense of approachability, conveying the idea of organizations that inspire and nurtures talent while contributing to the community through collective action is one of the Petronas' aim and mission. So their mission has driven them to find more energy and sustainable solutions beyond today to increase education opportunities, to protect the environment, to move cars with plastic bottles, and numerous other things. So for Shell itself, Shell is internationally recognized as a leader in oil, natural gas, and chemical production, refining, marketing, and distribution. So Shell provides diversified energy solutions across the globe. So they are using more and cleaner energy solution. So Shell aims to power progress. As the global population grows, they expect oil and gas demand to continue to rise for years to come. So they also made the initiative to replicate and substitute the current oil. So they tend to do more research to change and also make a better grade of oil and fuel. So to ensure their continued success, Shell must live by its general business principles. Acting honestly, keeping their integrity, and showing respect for others is how they will be judged. So their business principles are expected for all Shell people, contractors, and joint venture partners. As a supplier or joint venture, they expect them to follow the same standards. All employees, contract staff, and contractors who work for Shell are supported by a code of conduct. This means that they have this one base of principle that will be followed by everyone who are interested and also participated in Shell business. So next I will pass to my friend.
Okay, hi sir. I am Zain Fauza. I will proceed for the Petronas Ward. For the strength, the first point is state ownership, which Petronas owned by the government and has the responsibility to control the oil need of the country and to ensure the resources are sufficient for this generation and the next generation. The second point is high level of customer satisfaction. Due to understanding the customer needs and develop goods product, they're able to attain a high level of customer satisfaction among present customer and among potential customer. The next point is weaknesses. First, excessive concentration in oil and gas. Due to numerous rules from government as well as extra requirement, many companies have moved to non-oil industry business, but Petronas still retains most of its business interest in the oil and gas industry, which could be a long-term problem. Next, concerns due to state ownership status. Petronas also provide and support financial funding for projects undertaken by the government, even for the project that are unrelated to this company strategy operation, such as real estate venture. Next point is opportunity. The first one is increasing demand for oil and natural gas. Many countries' economic success eventually leads to the expansion of the transportation industry. Petronas has an opportunity because fuel demand is expected to rise and they can extend their market. And the second point is racing partnership. Petronas has been into a strategic partnership with the Mercedes AMG Petronas Formula One team, which has gained them a lot of experience in racing technologies. And the last point is threats. The first one is intense competition. Competition with other oil companies to acquire more potential lands to withhold the drilling capacity and field operating service that has put pressure not only profitability but also on overall sales. And the last one is technologies from competitors. New technologies developed by the competitors could be a serious threat to the industry in medium to long-term future that can reveal their good position when the competitors' technologies implemented are more goods. Next, Shell's what? Shell's what? Okay, next for Shell's what? For the first point is strength. The first one is strong market position. Due to one of the largest oil companies in the world with strong brand equity and has various fuel brands, for example, Shell's B Power, Shell's LPG and others. Currently, Shell operating in more than 80 countries around the world. The second point is strong research and development. Shell has been constantly working to improve its technologies to reduce the carbon impact and develop new ways to explore more fuel in less effort. Shell has made significant investment in R&D and has a wide series of patents under its banner. The second point is weaknesses. The first one is dependency on oil price. Shell profitability are strongly dependent on the oil price. Shell's asset and revenue are both depreciated because of the present low oil price. The second point is growing debts. Shell debts are increasing year by year. Increasing in debts will increase business risk, and a subsequent portion of the cash flow is paid in interest that may affect the business in the future. Next point is opportunity. The first one is re-establishment of image. Shell can create new responsible to reform themselves by cooperating with those local stakeholders due to all the previous negative incidents that fall upon Shell. And the second one is planned expansion. Shell has been concentrating on strategically expanding its activity around the world to meet the future energy demand. The corporation has also entered into major agreement with companies such as China to establish a presence in those markets. And the last point is threats. For the first one is climate change concern. With increasing energy demands, carbon dioxide emission in production is expected to increase, which needs to be under control for Shell. Shell needs to find a solution to reduce its carbon dioxide emission. And the last one is susceptible to political volatility. Oil and gas has been the most important subject of discussion between countries in the past 100 years. Politics has revolved around energy demands and production that put Shell become a victim of any political development in the future. That's all from me. Next, I will pass to Nurin Shafiqah.
Okay, hi sir. I will continue with the justification of which company we will choose. So the best company that we choose is Petronas. Based on SWOT analysis, we decided to choose Petronas because the most important thing is Petronas has a high level of customer satisfaction. Petronas development are able to cater their customers' needs that are related to oil and gas. This effort may enhance a strong relationship with their consumers and may attract more consumers to be a part of them. Next is Petronas have a highly skilled workforce through successful training and learning programs. Petronas also put an effort in order to produce and maintain skillful workforce to ensure the company can run smoothly. As an example, Petronas has their own university, which is University Technology Petronas, UTP, and Institute Technology Petroleum Petronas, INSEP. On top of that, Petronas also provides scholarships to excellent graduates to further their study in courses related to workforce inside of Petronas itself. Other than that, even though as stated in SWOT analysis that Petronas facing a limited worldwide retailing network because they did not possess global network gas station like other companies did, but they can minimize their weakness since Petronas can grab the opportunity to do research in developing new technology, which is develop a new biofuels using palm oil and can expand their market since, as we know, Malaysia have lots of palm oil plantation. Moreover, Petronas also has been known because, as stated before, they have a great partnership with Formula One team who has collaborated with Mercedes AMG Petronas. By that, they can attract more customers if they keep on improving this innovation. And lastly, Petronas also may counteract the threat regarding government stringent regulation, which are the government impose a strict environment regulation regarding the oil exploration activities. Petronas already have ways to prevent and respond if any oil spills is to happen. As precaution, Petronas has already joined as a member of Oil Spill Response Limited or SRL. The benefit of being one of its members is a 24 hours response to rapid facilities which have been proven to a successful method to combat any major oil spills around the world. That's all from me. Next, I will proceed to the next slide.
Okay, thanks Nurin Shafika. My name is Sabrina, and I will proceed with Michael for this 5 forces analysis. And first will be new entrants. As we can see in Malaysia, most of citizens will prefer to choose Shell and Petronas, despite the fact that there are other companies that provide more efficient services like Caltex. Shell and Petronas have established themselves so successfully that they are no longer threatened by the current state of the existing oil companies. Second, threat of substitute products and services. The ethanol could be used as a renewable energy. Even though ethanol may be considered a new alternative, there will be challenges in establishing its use. So currently, there are no threat of substitutes for both Shell and Petronas, even though there are a few products and possibilities regarding the existence of threats. Next. The third one would be rivalry with industry. If the industry's growth rates are moderate and demand and price are falling at the same time, rivalry could become more intense. Other competitors in the market include British Petroleum, BP, Petron, and Caltex. One of the main reasons is because both of the companies are currently a monopoly on the Malaysian market. Fourth, bargaining power of suppliers. Shell have their own mining sites and oil platforms all over the world, signaling that they have their own crude oil supplies and do not require the assistance of other companies. Petronas also owns multiple oil mining platforms in the South China Sea that can deliver sufficient crude oil supplies to them. Next, bargaining power of customer. Customers prefer a place where the prices of the products are cheaper. However, in the oil and gas industry, price is not customer driven and is determined by the availability of oil and gas on a global level. So some countries, depending on the country, provide subsidies and lower taxes that will be resulting in lower prices and affect customers' choice. So next, I pass the presentation to next presenter.
Hi, my name is Farouk. So there are 3 strategies that be conducted by Petronas, which is the first one, differentiation. Differentiation is most commonly used generic strategy to build a competitive advantage. Petronas use differentiation in combination with the cost leadership strategy to achieve growth objective. Petronas' strategic goal in employing this method is to differentiate itself by incorporate innovation and to meet consumer growing health concern. For example, Petronas has expanded its product line after analyzing evolving consumer tastes in order to separate itself from competitive and broaden the scope of prospect within the business. Petronas has built a strong and loyal client base through the combination of innovation and cost leadership. Next is cost leadership strategy, which is involving gaining a competitive advantage by lowering the cost. Cost leadership is the main generic strategy that Petronas use in various consumer market. The main goal of employing this strategy is to maintain the market leadership through effective value chain management. This strategy enables Petronas to increase its market share by focusing on the middle class, which make up the majority of the entire consumer market mix in most countries. And lastly is focus strategy. Focus is the competitive strategy that encourage company to concentrate their resource on expanding the narrowly targeted segment. When company adopt the focus strategy, they serve particular market segment and base their competitive advantage on niche marketing. Petronas follow the focus strategy in terms of both low cost and providing the best value. The low cost focus strategy is implemented by meeting the need of a certain market segment and the lowest possible cost, while the best value focus approach is used by focusing the quality, size, and design of the product that can best meet the need and the requirement of the customer. That's how we proceed with other.
So for the conclusion and recommendation, so our conclusion will be that we prefer Petronas as they portray more benefits towards the environment, to the people, and they have a very strong basis in their business as well, in the competition upon Shell itself. But however, we have two recommendations that they might take for improvement. So the first one is the recommendation that we would like to suggest would be to expand more research on usable resources that can be used to substitute fuel and oil that is eco-friendlier and affordable. Even though now they're currently using palm oil as a subsidiary, but I think there will be more resources out there that can be used, such as the coconut oil and also like cocoa oil. So we would also like to suggest Petronas to collaborate with smaller businesses that are related to them to exchange ideas and expertise, which will enhance their products and services rapidly as the technology advances day by day. This is because smaller businesses tend to have more creative ideas, but they don't really have the funds to make it happen. Therefore, Petronas should take this advantage to collaborate with smaller businesses to improve and also expand their business. That's all from us. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed.